Happy Memorial Day. I'm working. Yeah, I'm here. Welcome back, boat sluts. I took a little break, not because I wanted to, but because I ran out of Super Duty right about there. So, FYI, this is waxed. I'll try to find the sun for you. Maybe you can see it. Maybe you can't. Anyway, sorry, I'm between two boats. It's kind of tight. So I'll come back to this when I get more Super Duty, because in this area there's none, and I've called around to the neighboring towns. They are also out, so I've had to order it from the west side of Washington. It'll be here in a little bit. So while I'm taking a break from something that requires Super Duty, I'm going to start on something that might require only Perfected EXAC. Now, I say that for two reasons. One, I'm running low on my heavy cut, so clearly I have supply chain issues. This is the next boat that I'm going to work on, and what I'm going to try to do is finish up one side of it in a day. I don't particularly know if I'm going to film this, but if I do, it'll be a hyperlapse, so a time lapse, and it'll be from a distance away. In other words, I'm going to set my camera somewhere where it's in the shade. That way I can work on it. My camera actually separated the other day. The glue got too hot, and so the back of my phone just completely separated, so I had to super glue it back together. Anyway, what I've done so far is use a little rust stain remover to clean up the scum line around the transom and on the sides of the hull. So now, while it's still dirty, it's at least white. And white is easy to work with. There is a giant, what looks like epoxy-based Gelcoat repair that sucks. Nothing I can do about that. The decals are pretty shot, and there's not much of a shine left on this boat. That being the case, I'm going to try to do my best to clean this up in less than 2 days. And if successful, one customer will be very happy. The other one will wonder why I haven't got enough Super Duty to finish his boat that I started 2 days ago. Anyway, get ready, here we go. To prepare for this, I'm removing half of the cover off of the boat, just to give me something to work on and at least keep the cover in place, and I can slide it over to the side that I've finished when I'm done. Just makes it a little bit easier. I hate putting covers on and off. Anyway, I've taped off all of the stuff that I think might get in my way. I've taken out all the snap screws, taped off all the non-skid and the black trim. I don't like that that's staying, but whatever. I don't like that any of these are staying, but whatever. Anyway, so now that I've got this almost masked off, I'm just going to do this little section right here and clean up, or not clean up, but try to keep the non-skid clean. So I'll tape this off a little bit, just like I did these edges. Anyway, once that's done, I'll set you up and we'll go to town with some compounds and do some stuff. All right. See you. I apologize. I got a little bit distracted. Some stuff was going on at the yard here, customers dropping by asking stuff, so I took a little break, and when I came back I forgot to start the camera. That being the case, I will show you what it took to get to this, which didn't take all that much. This is heavy cut, followed with Perfected EXAC on a foam pad. Not cleaned, not washed, not waxed, just wiped down. But I'm thinking that's going to look pretty good, especially compared to this. So I'm going to try my best to finish up this side of the top side. At least get to about here before the day's up. And yeah, I'll show you what that's like. I promise I'll show you what that's like. You're going to get some wind noise, so am I. So it seems fair. I've got a clean section of my pad. I'll throw a little heavy cut on there, and I'm going to get into this. I'll have to do that part up in the windshield when I get up there. But for right now, I can do this. Okay, switching pads. I'll be right back. Now it'll perfect it, yes, easy. Not a lot. Well, I mean, you can see how quickly that goes. Now, if you wanted, you could wet sand this. But there's curves all through it. You got decals. They're already showing signs of wear and tear. So if you're going to sand this, you know, go ahead. I don't see the point. I'll be done with this before the night's over. And I'll have wax on it before tomorrow morning. And I'll be working on the hull. And if I do this right, I'll be done with this by 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And I started at noon. So, I mean, I'm into this thing like 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, minus a little break to have a beer and talk. Anyway, that's all it is. I appreciate it. I'm going to finish the rest of this top side. Then I'll clean it and wax it, and you can see what that looks like. Pieces. Okay, so you guys have seen all this before. This is just following the steps, right? Heavy cut, perfect it, foam pad. And we're just gonna follow this around. No magic. Just following this around. Can't fix that. Sorry. Anyway, it's coming out pretty nice, pretty easy. So if you haven't heard me before, I generally think sea rays have, let's see, how do I put this? Thick and forgiving gel coat. It actually is fairly easy to bring these back. Another boat that's super easy to bring back, as long as you've got some patience, is a Tiara. Tiaras have really thick gel coat, and man, do they come back. So if you've got an old Tiara, trust me, grab a buffer, don't worry about painting it. There's plenty to go. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the rest of this here. I won't film it, but I wanted to give you an idea of, you know, kind of what I look for when I'm doing my passes. And I haven't wiped this off yet. I'm guessing it looks pretty good. And if you wanted, you know, see for yourself what it looks like, I guess I could do that for you. It's a bit premature for me. I'd rather wait until I got a whole side done, but it's a good way to gauge where you're at. Ding, ding. All right. Moving on. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I should apologize. The starboard side of this boat is done. I didn't actually film a lot because I was working in between the clouds, and I don't like to have to grab my phone and camera and everything. So I did a lot of this on my own without your help. I apologize. That being the case, let me start over. So on here, I'm going to do everything, top and bottom at the same time. I'm going to hit it with heavy cut and then perfect it. Actually, I probably won't hit the bottom with perfected. I'll just hit the top with perfected. This gentleman wants to pick up his boat on Monday. I don't have a lot of time to march around and do all the stuff that I want to do, so I'm going to do what I have to do. That being said, let me get into this. All right, I'm just going to get into this. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be standing about 10 feet away from you and going from, you know, here to there. And when I get to there, I'll stop and come down on the bottom and do, you know, from here to there. And hopefully I beat some rain. If I do, great. If I don't, you know, life goes on. that's as far as I went. So let's get that. I'll just draw a line right here. I think I'm going to get rained on in about an hour. So can you hear me? I'm going to give you rained on in about an hour. And no, I'm not going to take off his registration stickers. You know why? This boat's trash. I think that if I take off his registration stickers, he's going to think that I was judging him. I'm going to leave him on. There's a lot about this boat that doesn't inspire me to do an outstanding job. That being said, I've tried to do a really good job. But it's not easy to stay motivated when bleh. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I do that all the way through the boat. When I come back over it, strip it, clean it, make sure it looks all right, and then I put a wax under. Now, you can tell from the light that I've got, it's not great. So I don't have any sort of direct form of light. I mean, I've got a flashlight, but I really don't want to be doing that every 3 or 4 steps. So, turns out I might be able to just compound this. I might not wax it until tomorrow. And that's just so I can see it. I really don't want to commit to the wax if there's a swirl or a major thing that I've missed because the light's flat. I still have to get up above the windshield or in front of the windshield, right up in here, and then do a little bit of interior buffing on the inside. There's about that much right over this edge. There's about that much gel coat on the other side of that. So I got to get in there and hit that, and at the same time finish that up, blend it into this area. Anyway, tomorrow I guess I could probably knock this out in about 2 or 3 hours if there's sun, but I don't think there's going to be any sun, so I guess that's all I'm going to show you today. Y'all be good. Chill. Welcome back, fiberglass floozies. Hey, what's that? That looks like a giant thunderhead coming at me. So, I'm going to be racing. I might not film everything. Just giving you a heads up. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just, you know, there's certain things that I can do and certain things I can't. So, where I'm at on this boat, I've got up here above the windshield, blend all that together. I've got all of this to do, top and bottom. And then, just for S's and G's, I've got the rest of the transom back here. So again, I'm going to be trying to race this. I'm not going to be setting up a camera. There's obviously a little bit of wind noise, so you're not missing out on much. This is just heavy cut with a wool pad, perfected EXAC with a foam pad, and then cleaning and stripping and waxing. Now I haven't waxed anything up here. This is just compound and wiped off. I'll get to that when I get to the waxing part. So now I'll show you what this all looks like when I'm done. So you can kind of get a sense of what it's starting to look like. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is getting there. So I'm going to shut this gate over here so nobody starts bothering me while I'm working, and I'm going to get into this. But again, yeah, trying to avoid getting wet. Would you believe that storm cloud's still there? So while I was racing and trying to do everything really quickly, what you didn't see is the foam pad with some perfected EXAC. You didn't see me strip it. You didn't see me put the wax on. You didn't see me take the wax off. A lot of stuff I've shafted you on. I apologize, but I'm showing you this only because it is kind of nice to see an old Sea Ray come back every now and then. You know, they do come back. You just have to put a little extra work into them. And right now I've got just this little section here to do up by the 210 sign where the ladder goes, and then this little, I'll call it a transom wall, but it's just a wall. Anyway, that's it. I already got this swim step done, the hole's done. And yeah, I'm just constantly racing this freaking cloud that seems like it's just going to stay there. So fingers crossed. And cleaned it, stripped it, waxed it. Now all I've got going on right now is a little bit of mess going on in the transom. A couple little walls on either side of that door, and then this little section right in here and this right in there. So not much is left. And I still don't have any Super Duty, so I can't continue on with the nasty cobalt. It's just sitting there. And I'm still racing a storm that looks like it's dumping pretty hard coming this way. So I apologize, guys. I don't show everything. If I'm in a rush, if I'm not in a rush, I try to show you everything. So the reflection you see on top of that cobalt is the same you see on this Sea Ray because, well, the standard is, yep, the standard. Anyway, sometimes it's fun to take an old Sea Ray and just dial it in. I'm not saying that this is fun, it's just sometimes it can be entertaining to see what you can get out of an old boat. So there you go, there's an old boat. Well, somebody's going to be happy to jump in it and take a ride. Alright. Turns out that customer didn't want his boat waxed. Whoops.